What up to my peoples, and welcome to Retro Crunch. I am back and we are going to start off our first retro pop culture news for the week. America's favorite TV dad from Married with Children, Al Bundy, he is actually back. Well, okay, sorta. It looks like a cartoon revival of the 1980s and 90s series. It's actually being pitched to some TV networks and streaming services. But the kicker here is that Katey Segal, Ed Oneill, Christina Applegate, David Faustino, they all said that they would come back to voice their characters for this cartoon show. Right now, there's no clear news on a release date, but the fact that Sony Pictures was able to secure the original cast to reprise their role for the cartoon, that to me seems that there might be a real possibility that this might actually come together. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about an animated show though. I think that seeing the banter between Peg and Al Bundy and the facial expressions that Al was always making with him and with the kids, I just thought that was so important, and I don't know how a cartoon is going to be able to replicate that same feel. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of banter and some good comedic one-liners, but for me, I don't know if it's going to be the same. But like I always say, let's give it a chance and see how it turns out. Then next up, this news that I'm about to mention is a 11 on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, if you didn't get the reference, Rob Reiner, he's going to be making Spinal Tap 2. And he actually was able to get all of the original cast to come back for the sequel. I have no idea what's going to happen with this movie or what the plot's going to be about, but I love the first one. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. And before we move on to some other news, here's a couple more TV news updates I want to tell you about. There is a League of Their Own TV show that's in the works, and a few images from that series were actually released online. Then the other news is that True Lies has a reboot TV show that was finally approved for full production. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis were in the original movie that this is going to be based on, and I'm not sure how this TV show is going to go without having them involved. And in some retro toy news, so Lego announced that they're making a Lego Optimus Prime. I've loved this news, and I really hope that later down the road they're going to be making maybe a Megatron that can go with this Optimus figure. It better be a gun though. So this Optimus Prime Lego set is over 1,500 pieces. It is going to cost you a cool $170, but it is going to be going on sale on June 1st on the Lego store site. I'll link down below if y'all want to find out more about it. There is an auction that's going on over at propstore.com. I believe that's the name of the website. They have like a gizmo that's being auctioned off that's from the movie. I think a Freddy Krueger hand and maybe like part of his shirt where the Freddy Krueger hand's coming out. That's going to be up for auction. Man, there's just so many cool stuff. I think there's actually a DeLorean that's going up for auction that was actually used for promotions for the movie. Just really, really good auction stuff from the 80s and 90s that you guys might want to check out. Also, Apple announced that they officially ended production on the iPod Touch. Rest in peace, iPod. And that's your retro pop culture news for the week. If you're into retro news and nostalgia stuff from back in the day, I'll see you in the next video. I'll catch you on the flip side, and remember, if it ain't retro, it ain't worth watching.